Joseph Bates. Come on.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. So, if there's one thing in this country that we don't talk about enough at all, it's the royal family. Like, often when I say that, people are like, sorry, exactly, yeah. Like, people are like, we've got a royal family. I'm like, yeah, and we need to start talking about it and acknowledging it more. And I'm going to do that for a bit now. Because I've been really inspired by the whole Harry and Meghan thing. I don't know how people feel about it. I think it's a really nice story. Like, I've actually been inspired to follow in their footsteps. So I've recently left my family WhatsApp group. And now I'm getting all these texts from my nana saying, like, why did you leave the group? You know, why did you leave the group? It's like, Nana, you had my mum killed? Just a joke. So yeah, I'm Joe Bates. I'm a Northern man. Those are my two characteristics. I've been down here for about 10 years. I came down to make it to London. Came down on the megabus. We don't actually call it the megabus in Middlesbrough, where I come from. We call it the Chariot of Dreams. And I haven't made it yet, so I'm thinking of making some sort of lifestyle changes. Like, I was going to do dry January this year, but I thought it's a bit boring. Everyone's doing it. So I started doing cry January. Like, I started like a month off my antidepressants. But I couldn't do that either because I love my antidepressants. Like, you know, because, you know, like, things are very bleak in the world at the moment, aren't they? And, like, actually, I went on antidepressants this time last year, like, just to see if things actually were that bleak, or whether I just had some sort of medical condition. You know, like, and I've been on them for about a year now, and I can tell you, things are that bleak. But now I don't care anymore. You know, I'm feeling pretty positive about things, feeling pretty positive about, like, the rise of the far right, and, like, you know, global warming. Because I think those two things are just going to sort each other out. Because, like, you know, a lot of the far right are white people with extremely short hair. And that's a group notoriously vulnerable to sunstroke. Like, global warming's going to weaken them physically. And it's going to make it easier when we inevitably have to take them on in combat. So yeah, I'm also feeling a bit more positive about social media. Like, I was a bit paranoid about social media. A lot of my friends deleted Facebook because they didn't like what it was doing with their personal data. I've kept Facebook, but I have been, like, sort of fighting back against Facebook for about the last 6 years by just doing nothing interesting with my life whatsoever. You know, like not appearing in any photos, like not hitting any milestones, like basically not leaving the house. You know, just to give Mark Zuckerberg nothing to work with. You know, like, my 2019 year in review Facebook montage video was me voting in the election and changing my password twice. Like, all set to really sentimental music. It was actually quite moving. You know, like, and it's sort of comforting for me to know that if Facebook sold my personal data, they'd probably have to throw in a free pen, you know, to sort of, like, sweeten the deal a bit. But every app on your phone is taking your data, like Spotify as well, which is just a music player. That's like tracking your GPS location data, following you around wherever you go. I do like Spotify in a lot of ways. It's very cheap. It doesn't pay the musicians very much, which is good. Because the best art comes from struggle. But like, I didn't like the fact that it was selling all my personal data, so I was going to delete it. But then I was listening to an album on Spotify recently, and as the album I was listening to finished, Spotify made the most beautiful mix that anyone has ever made for me. Has anyone experienced this? Like, my playlist thing. Honestly, listening to that mix was the first time in my life that I'd ever felt understood. Like anyone had even made the effort to understand me. You know, like, and I was immediately so glad that I'd given it all my personal data. You know, like, I wanted to give it more. You know, like, I wanted to tell it everything I'd been holding back from my counsellor. And like, hearing that mix made me feel better about being single as well, because I think in a few years' time, like marrying robots, it's going to be very much an option, you know. And I think if a robot can make me feel as loved as that Spotify mix did, that's going to be a beautiful relationship, you know.